we are turning to Mr. Professor Dr. Alexandru Bodislav from German Infinitum. We love that title.
Hello. Thanks for the invitation, especially for today's topic is in an area that can approach multifaceted ways of seeing things regarding the AI. Now, I would begin with the idea that several years ago, around 2019, my team, which consists of mainly of lawyers and economists, was approached by the European Union and wanted to deliver a new way of seeing the EU AI Act. So when they built the EU AI Act, they went on the path of trying to see several perspectives, which they demanded from different fields. And one of the solutions was given by my team, and it had the approach of innovate first and regulate later, because this way you could actually stand a chance in front of the Americans and the Chinese when it comes to AI. They chose to regulate first and innovate never, in this case. And this way we have to be followers of the solutions that the Americans bring to the table, because again, like Mr. Popescu said, on today's market economy, in today's environment, we need to be closer to the Americans and to the Chinese because of the control issues they have regarding how the economy should work. Now, first of all, we have to understand that today's AI is on the verge of nowhere, because they are building products that are seen from the perspective of cause-effect. So they need to build products that can think for themselves. Now, in November 2024, there was a white paper that didn't went to mainstream publishing solution because it was delivered for Microsoft. Now, at that point, Microsoft and Apple were one of the biggest players when it comes to courting OpenAI. And they said they would do anything to be their partners in developing ChatGPT and other solutions similar to Chat. The problem was that they were promised they will receive a solution that at one point it will evolve in a semi-sentient solution. And that paper that was written in 2024, in November, for Microsoft, delivered the fact that in the way AI is progressing right now, the way it's written right now, it's just a friendly statistical machine that could help you do your job better. So that's the purpose of general artificial intelligence. Now, the problem is, the moneymaker is not ChatGPT. The moneymaker is replacement. And replacement of human beings in their day-to-day operations is quite easy today, as long as they don't have critical thinking. So first of all, don't forget, if your job or your business requires lots of critical thinking, you're safe until 2040. Afterwards, shit happens. Now, the problem is that in today's environment, the only thing that matters is delivering to your promotional needs. So unfortunately, for the last couple of months to almost 1 year, everything that's in the market as revolutionized AI is actually a marketing trick. Because the promises were too big, the delivery was slower, and also they had these issues with actually delivering hardware technology and other elements that can create the entire ecosystem. Furthermore, at one point, the previous speakers talked about the idea of energy. Now, half a year ago, there was a solution delivered to the Romanian Academy and also to the Romanian government on how you can actually take advantage of the fact that Romania, especially in Dobrogea, has 3,000 megawatts in ATRs. So documents that show the fact that you can build that capacity of energy power production in the area, but Transelectrica can only inject in the system only 1,300 megawatts. So the difference is nowhere. It's not going to be it's not going to be used because Transelectrica cannot push for developing the infrastructure to that level. So a solution, for example, could be actually using the climate change as a tool to understand the future. How so? So in today's environment in Romania, lots and lots of parts of Romanian plain and Dobrogea will become semi-deserted. And agriculture will become more and more expensive to do there. But meanwhile, you can have something new. Because they have injected on paper those 1,700 megawatts that are extra what Transelectrica can push, it can be delivered as a solution to actually connect remote energy producers to green energy producers to the new spaces for increasing the capacity of data centers. So if Jeff Bezos wants to put data centers in outer space to make it cheaper to produce energy to clean the environment of consuming super gigafactories, in today's economy at this level, in Romania, we can have a solution that can be taken as an advantage on the idea of switching from agricultural plains that become more and more expensive to produce, to harvest, to using them to create a better approach on how the economy could deliver energy to the data center. That's a solution that can be used in Romania. It's quite cheap and also helps a lot the industry. Now, furthermore, when it comes to preservation of democratic oversight, because this is one of the tools that the AI in today's environment will influence. In one of my day-to-day operations is being part of the mentorship program of NATO Diana. And I am part of the board of the company that runs an AI called Factiverse, which is an agent based on ChatGPT that does real-time evaluation of fake news. So at one point, hopefully in the next 2 years, if the financing is right from NATO Diana, it's going to be a solution that can be used in elections. So during debates, we can actually have in real-time feed if the two or more than two candidates are lying during their speeches. So that's going to be quite fun, especially because some of the candidates like to lie a lot when they talk about their future plans and what they are based on. So see, it's not only about what can it deliver from a return on investment point of view. It's also about what it can deliver from a human and democratic perspective. Now, AI is good also for resource allocation, and this is where governments should look at, because at one point in my experience, let me tell you a backstory. So in 2015 actually, I was working for a mining company, a partnership of mine, which went on the idea that they needed to push for a solution that could bring to the table a new technology in evaluating diamonds before they are extracted from the mines. And by using AI, you can actually revolutionize the way you extract and the yield you have when you extract those natural resources. And this way, you cut costs, you increase efficiency, and you actually create more financial push in the economy without actually spending any extra cash. Now, another issue is that we have to see this concept of institutional versus operational mismatch, because the purpose of institutions is mainly to regulate and to extract everything that can help the population, especially to thrive and create what's known as welfare. But meanwhile, there's a higher meaning for this. It has to also understand how it can understand the company's ideas on operational mismatch. And I'll give an example. At one point, a couple of years ago, I was part of a team of an AI that was built to help students to understand better the disciplines they are using in their faculties, they are going through. And although it was fairly fast adopted by universities like MIT, Harvard, Stanford, in Romania, for example, there was an issue. All universities from Romania that were seen as partners and receiving for free for the students this solution, they thought this is a solution to cheat, not a solution to study. So see the discrepancies between the way some see the approach on this matter and the way they implement this approach. That's another issue that usually you'll find in Romania especially. Later on, when we try to finance that AI solution, which by the way was a proprietary, it wasn't an agent based on Meta or I don't know, Llama, Alphabet, or OpenAI solutions. It was a proprietary, built from scratch. And because of it was becoming more and more interesting, the key players, previously mentioned, they wanted to buy it. And they didn't, it wasn't a courting solution, it wasn't something nice, it was something very demanding. It was like blood in the water and it was full of sharks. So first of all, it's becoming way, way, way harder to develop products, AI products in today's environment without being engulfed or destroyed by companies like OpenAI, Alphabet, or Meta. So this is kind of an issue because they create entry barriers without having a fully developed market economy on what AI could be. Another issue is that at one point, we have to understand that in today's environment, we need to put together an ecosystem, which starts with the breeding part. Breeding initial AI solution comes from the academic sector, not from the government, not from the private sector, because otherwise you wouldn't have solutions that can actually control and build and develop the market at a better way than it would have been done in the private sector. As an example, you have BioNTech, you know, the COVID vaccine. That was actually a startup, which was based for AI learning on mRNA solutions. So see, if you can actually bring to the table the academic area and without pushing for spending money without purpose and trying to framework to create a concept in which the economy could be pushed, and also based on the idea that first the government comes in and says the academic area should do their part in a professional manner. Then, as the government will create the infrastructure, the economic background, the technical infrastructure to push, to create better approaches on how the economy should be. And then the corporate sector comes in and says, we will push this further to research and development. And then maybe later venture capitalists could actually push to create a global solution. Because by the way, when it comes to global solutions, the European Union is dead in the water. It's so far behind when it comes to creating delivery and solutions that can be compared to the Americans or the Chinese, that it will take us around 7 years to get where they are right now. And in the same time, they really have to do a bad job to stay there. So this is one of the issues that the EU has right now. And this is one of the issues that can be seen in the Romanian economy because we lead the way by seeing their way. And in the end, I would like to tell you that we need to push further on the idea that AI is here to stay, and those that are reticent on the idea of how it can help us, they should look how things happened when in 1907, BASF invented the chemical fertilizer. In 1908, the harvesting yield for each hectare increased by 100 times. So this will be the AI in the near future, not right now, because at today's pace, AI only delivers between 2.7 and 2.8% of GDP growth worldwide because it's not there yet. It's just marketing for now. But when it will be there, prepare to have an interesting approach on life. It's not only hard days, it can also be good days, but we have to see it in a polite manner and not regulate it until they die on themselves, all these companies. Because as you can see, when it comes to Europe, there's only one AI company that actually works, and that's Mistral AI, which is a French company. All others are dead in the water because they cannot compete to American and Chinese companies or Israeli companies because they don't have the same legal framework. They have to work twice as hard to deliver the same product because they first have to fulfill EU's needs through the EU Act. Thanks.